You've just signed a client. Congratulations, but you're not done yet. The second a client has sent you money is the second buyer's remorse kicks in, and now it's time for you to deliver the best onboarding process for your client. This is how to maximize your lifetime value by building the best onboarding process. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Jordan Ross. I run an 8-figure agency. We've worked with over 800 agencies and companies, helping them scale their operations and their businesses, and we've helped our clients add over 150 million in annual recurring revenue. During that time, I learned the best way to onboard your clients to make sure they stay the longest. Now, before I dive in, there's one important fact you need to know. If you onboard a client effectively, that will increase the lifetime value of that client by 256%. Now, this was done by a Harvard study. I'm not going to cite it in this video, but you need to know that because this is really important. So when it actually comes to onboarding starts the second a deal is closed. Now, there's two ways that a deal is going to close and a client is going to pay. Now, the first way is if you or a closer closes that deal on the actual call. If this happens, you need to then start doing what I call priming. Priming is the psychological concept that states we are influenced by our surroundings. Now, the way this applies to onboarding is if you onboard a client well, they will be primed to stay longer. They'll be psychologically inclined to want to stay longer. So the second we close a deal or I close a deal at 8F, I'm always doing congratulations. Now, I know this is cheesy and I know this is corny, but you've just made an amazing investment. We've had over 800 clients go through this experience and we've never had one ask for a refund. You're not going to be the first, and this is going to create such magnificent ROI for you and your business, helping you accomplish whatever the goal we're trying to accomplish. Now, the reason I do this, psychologically, people start to have buyer's remorse the second they make an investment. I am now working towards them to stay really long and believe they made the right decision. So there's two types of onboarding. The first one is psychological and the second one is technical. Now, when I'm on call with my clients or I have a closer closing on call, I want them to begin the onboarding process then and there. At that point, they're going to say, great, let's do this. Now that we have a little bit more time in this call, let's use it to actually start your onboarding. Now, in my business, we have an onboarding form that we need filled out, and we have an introductory call that needs to be booked. If that closer is with them on that call, I want them to book that call in right then and there and make sure the onboarding form is filled out or they have that link. Now, that's for if you close on the call. The other option is you send an invoice, and within that invoice, you include everything you need. Now, at 8F, when we send an invoice, we include a congratulations. We ask them to save card on file. We submit the link for them to submit their onboarding form, and we give them the calendar link to book their initial call with their consultant. So in your invoices, make sure technically that's where you start the relationship. As you can see here in this picture, this is what it looks like to receive an invoice from 8F if you have received an invoice and you're about to sign up. Now that we've actually signed the client and we've done the initial phases, I'm going to walk you through the next most important steps of your onboarding process to increase the client's lifetime value. Now, the first step is sending a custom welcome email. Now, the whole email, for the most part, is going to be templated, but there's one component in that email that does need to be custom, and that's a custom welcome video. Now, at 8F, we have a custom welcome video shot by myself, the founder, where I'm personally welcoming the client and reinforcing their buying decision. Once again, this is critical because this makes sure we reduce buyer's remorse. I've seen in my business, and I've seen in countless businesses, clients will refund immediately or within 10 to 24 hours if they don't believe in what they purchased. Now, this is very early on in like 2019 in my business. I've seen this happen, but for your company, this onboarding email needs to happen within 24 hours of them paying, ideally within like 5 or 6. That personalized welcome video is there to remind them they made the right decision. Here are a few bullet points I cover in my personalized welcome video. First, I reinforce their buying decision and congratulate them again. Second, I remind them and introduce them to who their consultant is going to be and why they're such an exceptional partner. Third, I define what the purpose is of onboarding and what they could expect from that first call with their consultant. Fourth, I remind them of the guarantee that they have with 8F. Remember, a lot of people are scared even unconsciously and they have buyer's remorse. If they know they have a guarantee, that reduces buyer remorse. So I remind them on that video. Finally, I remind them that there might be a prorate consulting fee if they finish their discovery and onboarding during the middle of the month. That's important so there's no surprises and expectations are super clear. While this is happening, behind the scenes, onboarding really needs to begin effectively. Now, you could see here, there's a picture of my CRM. There's a few important things that's happening in my CRM that I recommend you include in yours. Now, the first one is pricing. You could see there in the CRM, it shows what the onboarding pricing is going to be, what the subscription pricing is going to be, as well as if you have a weekly call commitment or if you have a certain amount of time that needs to be dedicated towards onboarding, your team members are aware of that. The second thing to be aware aware of is the accessibility of links. Now, remember, if you're closing or a team member is closing the deal, they want to be able to tag someone that is going to be the account manager and grab their links. So you can see there that we already have those links. They're automated in there. So when one of my team members, a closer, will pick the consultant, automatically there's going to be a pop-up of the next link to choose. Third, you can see the onboarding form is there for my sales team to easily pass it off to my client. And fourth, you could see an onboarding Loom video handoff. Now, I strongly recommend you have a handoff process from sales to fulfillment. One of the things we do at ADAF, in addition to having a weekly meeting of all deals closed, is we send a Loom video to let our fulfillment team and consultants know this is exactly all the things you need to be aware of for this client going into your first call. And then finally, you could see there we have if this person is paid Slack or free Slack. What this basically means is this individual will get a different type of Slack invitation, where if you're using paid Slack, you know you're going to get a Slack Connect invitation. That's important for my onboarding and administrative team to onboard them correctly into the right Slack channel. Once we have this, we move to step number 3, which is creation of channel. Now, we use Slack. You might use different tools like Basecamp, Trello, Go High Level, Discord, WhatsApp. It does not matter what you use. What's important is when you have a created joint channel where you and your clients communicate with one another, you have an effective onboarding message. Now, as you can see here in this picture on the screen, this is what ours looks like, and I'm going to explain the psychology and reasoning behind this. So number 1, you could see we encourage our clients to start by watching an onboarding video. I really want to emphasize for you guys, one of the biggest reasons clients will churn within the first 90 days to 6 months of your agency is ineffective expectations. We are constantly throughout the onboarding process educating our clients around expectations, and we still have people that will sometimes miss some expectations or forget things. So when they get onboarded, we're setting a clear expectation of a video of what to expect. Second, you can see that there's an onboarding form there. Some clients, they'll get the onboarding form and they won't fill it out. This allows my administrative team to remind my clients, hey, I noticed you didn't fill out your onboarding form. You signed up yesterday, you signed up 2 days ago, and you have your onboarding call tomorrow or today. Would you, if you have 2 minutes, fill out the onboarding form? The link is in the second line above. Third, same thing goes for the calendar. Sometimes my clients don't book a call and we have to remind them. Fourth, here's some things that actually are more technical in nature. We give our clients their consultant's email, and we want to make sure our consultants will get onboarded into all softwares. So on the back side, we have a checklist to make sure that our onboarding specialist is checking in with our consultants every day with our new clients to make sure they get access to softwares, and we'll remind our clients to give access if not. We also give some value. We have our clients sign up for a directory, and we're going to try to make connections with them and for them with other agencies they could get referrals to and from. And finally, we need our clients to be completing a scorecard on a weekly and monthly basis. We give them access to their scorecard, and we give them a Loom video on how to use it. Now, what you could see here is good technical onboarding. Remember, there's technical onboarding and psychological onboarding. This actually includes both because of the Loom video on the front end and then just the cleanness of this message. Now, at this point, you've onboarded your client into your tech stack, you've welcomed them via email and via Slack, and at this point, you should be able to have the fourth step, which is your first meeting with the client on the fulfillment side of things. Now, when we get on that first call with our client, there's a few steps that you need to know. The first step is to once again congratulate them. Remember, on a psychological basis, we need to prime them. We need them to deeply believe that they've had the best experience ever, they made the best investment ever. And if they have multiple congratulations, unconsciously, they're going to really believe they've really made a great decision. So I tell my consultants, you need to be congratulating people on call when they join. Second, it's to get them into rapport. You can't just have an account manager or a strategist or someone on your team just start talking. You need to get into a relationship because this is a human connection that we're forming. You can't AI or automate human connection. Well, you can't AI it yet. Number 3 is have alignment on handoff of what they got from the sales team and what they know coming into this call, what they saw from the onboarding form, and also setting an expectation for that initial meeting. This is important because it shows the client that we have a clear process, but if we're missing any details, it allows us to align on a few details before we actually get into the first call. In the call, there's a few more things that you or your team need to cover. Number 1 is timeline. One of the biggest reasons that clients will be upset is because they think we're off track. You need to have the timeline ready, and you need to have a visual ready to show what the clients are going to be doing on day 1, on day 7, on day 30, on day 60, and 90. You need to show your clients what they can expect, and you're going to have to reference that video again in the future. Results. Let your clients know what they could expect as results for their business. Now, this is really critical because you're going to come back to this at the end of month one and at the end of the first quarter to say, hey, we set these expectations for your business, we hit them or we didn't, and here's why. Number 3 is objectives. What are the objectives of their account? What's the objectives of this relationship? And number 4 is defining success. This one's critical. Now, obviously, we have already defined success with objectives and with our desired results. But one thing I find is that some clients have nuanced expectations we need to address. Some clients want very specific forms of communication. Some clients don't want to talk to us at all. You need to extrapolate what those things are. That's usually going to be around expectations. That's going to be around timelines. That's going to be around how we handle certain things. And you need to ask questions to say, hey, how do you prefer to communicate with your vendors? Do you like to have one call a week or one call every other week, right? So build that list and make sure you're asking those things to extrapolate if this client needs a little bit custom TLC. Now, after the first call is done, you need to send a recap, whether that's in Slack, Discord, email. Your client needs a recap of that call. For my company, we use a software called Superpowered that does call recaps for us. So we don't have to have our consulting team actually remember and write everything during that call. So if you use this software, you can send a recap of what was spoken, and you want to highlight a few core things on that recap. Number 1 is the visual of what the timeline will look like, what they can expect after 1, 7, 30, 45, and 90 days. The timelines can vary. It could be 30, 60, 90, 30, 60, 120. It does not matter. You need a visual that you're going to show your client consistently so they can have consistent expectations if they're on track or off track. And the last thing in that email after the recap and the timeline is reminders and priming. Let them know what they can expect in the next week. Let them know why they made a good decision, and let them know how you're excited to see the results. That one's critical. That's called planting the seed on a psychological level. One of the things I always say is I'm so excited in 90 days or 6 months or 1 year to see XYZ results, enter specific results here. And I just can't wait to see the look on your face of how joyous you are about how we've grown your business. When you say that, I can't wait to see the look on your face, clients are going to start to unconsciously make sure that happens. So it builds a longer runway for you in that relationship. Now, at this part in the process, we've onboarded our client for the most part. There's a few more things I want you to be aware of. Now, the first thing is we want to continue to do priming. We need to include as many wins that can reinforce a psychological decision as much as possible. For me and my business, if I'm ever working on an account or any of my clients are, or any of my consultants are, I always encourage try to look for easy wins. Can we find immediate ROI that we can create for a business? One of the things I always do is see if I can make an introduction, or if I can genuinely say, hey, we're going to introduce this strategy, which is going to lead to this much money in recurring revenue for your company. And within the next 14 days or 1 month, you could expect at least ROI or ROI positive investment from this, just from this one initiative. And we haven't even started yet, right? These things give clients the ability to see success immediately. It gives them reinforcement of their decision. And the second and third thing, I already said it, was introductions. If you could give your clients introductions for ROI or resources, sometimes they need introductions to solve other problems. They will associate your brand and your business with goodwill, and they'll start to build law of reciprocity. Not only have you been doing a good job of onboarding on a technical level, you're helping them solve other problems, which makes you a trusted vendor that they could actually see as a partner. Things to also include, which I didn't get super specific in this video on, was education. So I've talked a lot about priming and I've talked a lot about expectations, but during this process, you need to interweave very clear educational points. Now, for my company, those educational points that I cover on my onboarding videos, that I cover in my initial meetings, is specific that we are a growth partner. We're not a consultancy for operations, we're a growth partner. So we're here to set a relationship that could last many years. And within that, there's nuance as I tell and I teach clients how they can leverage us in the first quarter, in the second quarter, and beyond then. So it starts to educate the clients what they could expect from us and educate them on how they're going to work with us. Now, you might be offering a service that can produce results in the first 30 days, or you could offer a service that produces results after 6, 12, 18 months. So if you're offering a service on like paid ads that could generate results within the first 30 days, a lot of times there's bad expectations from clients. So this is where you need to educate them on what's fair for them to believe out of you. Now, if you're running a YouTube agency, you need to educate clients on your philosophy. YouTube is generally a 1 to 2 year investment before you start seeing significant results. If you're working with a new client in your YouTube agency, you need to educate them on that. Hey, here's the commitment we really need from you for this to work. We're going to need at least 6 to 12 months commitment for us to actually see compounding results. And even beyond that, we're still going to need to do 2 to 3 years. Are you willing to make a commitment like that? Great. Here's a chart of what you might be able to see within the first year and the second year. One of the things I was told with my SEO agency was after my first year of business, I think we were getting about 1,000 impressions and clicks to my website from Google. And the founder of that company said, hey, we can expect to move from 1,000 up to 10,000 within the next 12 months. That's a fair expectation. That's what we're going to be going for, right? So it gives me as a client the ability to visualize where I want to be. But also, if you have a certain methodology, you need to educate and remind that client up to 7 times within those first 2 to 4 weeks. Remember, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but we need to hear something 7 times before we actually hear it once. So a lot of times for your company, don't think it's overkill. Educate, set expectations, and remind your clients because they will forget, I promise you. The final thing for your onboarding before you officially move from onboarding into consulting is your plan and presentation. Ideally, you want to be able to present as fast as possible. Some clients take a week to onboard, some clients take 2 days to onboard, some clients take 2 weeks to onboard. You need to figure out what your process is. In that plan or in that meeting, you need to share, number 1, a recap of everything you reviewed and everything you did leading up until this point. Number 2, a roadmap. Remember, I already shared how you need to have a roadmap and an expectation for the next 7, 14, 30, 60, 90 days. You want to go back to that same exact visual and say, this is where we're at today. This is where we're going to be going over the next 30 days. Number 3 is expectations and really making sure that the clients are bought in, making sure that they feel their needs are being met and they have trust and belief in the plan. Number 4 is scheduling calls then and there if you need to have calls scheduled. And number 5 is really checking in to see if there's anything else the client needs to believe you're going the extra mile to be the right partner for them. The answer should be no, there's nothing. But if they have something, you want to go above and beyond. Now, friends, this is how you onboard clients effectively. Remember, there's 2 parts, technical onboarding and emotional and psychological onboarding. You need to do both to keep your clients for multiple years. Now, I understand this is hard. And if you've received value from this video, make sure you like and subscribe to get other videos to help you grow and run your business. If you want help scaling your agency, go to the link below and book a call with us to get a free consultation. As a quick reminder for some of you, you need to be doing at least $15,000 a month to qualify for a consultation with my company. Thank you so much.